This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Oh, welcome in, roadies. How you doing today? Thank you for joining us on another mock draft, mock-a-lock ding-dong. We are your hosts. My name is Truck. This is Kulz. You can find me at fantasy_trucker. Find him at Kulz_sports. Follow the show at Fantasy Roadshow. Check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/sportsethos. And last but not least, please check out the Substack, thefantasyroadshow.substack.com. Kulz, how the hell are you? What are you doing?
What's going on, roadies? I am in Mexico City.
Woohoo, Mexico.
Mexico. Some fun facts I learned about Mexico City while being here. Did you know there's 22 million people in this city?
Holy shit. Just in the city?
It's 2 times bigger than New York City.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy how big this city is. It's a really, really cool city. I've absolutely I've been eating like a king. Everything is incredibly cheap. Like I'm talking like maxing out at dinners, drinks, and it being like a fourth of the price as it would be back home. Actually, less than that, like
Really?
a tenth of the price. Yeah. It's
how's
been
the
awesome.
food? How's the food's been pretty good, huh?
Oh, outstanding. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a nice hibachi dinner last night. I've done Japanese a couple times. I've done Mexican, of course, a couple times. I did a Peruvian seafood restaurant. I've been eating really good. The city's pretty awesome. There's this park in this area called Roma Norte that's just massive. I think it's twice the size as Central Park in New York City also.
Wow.
Been to some cool, like old historic castles. So, and then the rest of what I've been doing, I can't really speak to, but there will come a time that I will be able to. But yeah, I've teased that I was going to potentially be on a game show, and that's really all I'm going to leave it at.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you or the roadies much at all. Legally, I cannot, but yeah, more to come there. It's been a pretty incredible experience down here in Mexico City.
That's awesome, man. I'm jealous. I'm glad that it's been a good time, and yeah, it's great, man. I can't wait to find out more information. Yeah, cliffhanger there. So,
yeah, it's
awesome.
crazy how it's 2-hour direct flight from Austin as well. So super easy in and out. I'll be coming back here more. It's a really cool city. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, I wish I could. Wish I can get more into it. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people like trying to figure out what I was just talking to. It was extremely vague, but that's not just trying to tease you. It's that's just,
legally.
I mean, you're working on movie sets and TV, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's definitely tell you. It's hush hush. You can't really talk about what goes on set, but you can mention that you're on set. That's all.
Yeah.
You know? Hey, I'm on set. Don't worry about what's happening, but I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, I am in Litchfield, Illinois, down south, right outside of St. Louis.
Litchfield, very nice.
Yeah, Litchfield. And I'm a little under the weather. I don't know if you could tell by the sound of my voice.
Yeah.
Dealing with some fogginess over the last couple of days, so hopefully I can shake that off. But I think I'm doing okay right now. So we are getting into a mock draft today. This was a special request by
I have a question, actually.
Go ahead.
Do you just stay in Litchfield and not St. Louis because you forgot the Band-Aids to put under your eye? So you purposely drove a little bit further so that you didn't have to, mention not having the Nelly Band-Aid?
Yeah, that might be why, Mike. That might be
Okay.
why. I'm like, I gotta get the hell out of St. Louis. Mike's gonna mention the Band-Aid again.
Okay. All right.
So yeah. Anyway, we have
Yeah.
a special. This is a special request by a roadie out there by the name of Ryan Jones.
Ryan Jones. What?
Who?
Ryan Jones. Who?
Yeah, Ryan Jones out there. Roadie, thank you for the request. He has a draft coming up soon, and he wanted to kind of pick our brains on the 6th spot in a 12-team PPR Superflex. And the roster construction is pretty unique, in my opinion. I've never seen or been a part of a league like this, and it's very interesting. But it's one quarterback, one Superflex, two running backs, three wide receivers, two regular flex spots, which could be a wide receiver, running back, or tight end, and then there's one flex that is a wide receiver or tight end. So technically, you don't need to draft a tight end. You don't need to roster one. However, the very valuable tight ends are still valuable in that sense, but I think that kind of affects our rankings, and I don't know if we'll be drafting Kelsey in the first round. I don't know, Mike. What your initial thoughts when I told you this? What's going on in your head?
My initial thoughts is, first of all, Ryan Jones, who thank you for reaching out and asking us for our insight on this topic. This is exactly why I really got into this space, and kind of how we're both here today is because we're both very involved on a personal level. I help out everyone in my network with their fantasy football stuff, so there's a passion there, and we love connecting with new people who are consuming our content and helping out any way we can. And it's just, it helps us out too, right? We get reps in a league we've never heard of. We expand our skill set. It helps us produce content. So just want to say thank you to Ryan Jones, and we want to do more of this. Honestly, we've been ripping out mocks every single day. If we could draft from your position, and it's just it's awesome. But go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, we probably should have prefaced this in the beginning of our mock draft journey. We should have just said in the very beginning, like, hey, if you guys have a specific league you want us to mock, a specific draft spot you want us to mock, hit us up, and we will do that for you. So I'm glad it happened organically, but it's definitely something that'll be on the top of our list for next draft season. Really getting the roadies involved.
Yeah, I agree. That's what we're here for. So, So first of all, thank you to that. Second of all, I like this league. I really like any additional strategy involved. So I think that exists here. However, because you have the ability to start 7 wide receivers, and there's not required a tight end,
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties.
Am I back?
Yes, you are.
So I do think that because you have the ability to start 7 wide receivers, super flex, in the different flex structure. I think this would be the perfect league because you don't have to start a tight end to implement tight end premium. That being said, like, I am not really a huge fan of tight end premium. I haven't done it in any leagues, and I don't really like. I'm not a huge fan, but this would be a league where tight end premium makes total sense and should exist, because then you get to include the tight ends more than the top few.
Otherwise, they're just basically not being drafted. Like other than like the top 5, everybody else is just kind of,
well, maybe top 10. I don't know. It's hard to say without drafting, and there is a ton of bench spots, but like maybe like through David and Njoku off the top of my head. you could probably be better than like a wide receiver 3 or something. You can start 6, 7 wide receivers, and there's a deep bench, so you're drafting, 10 receivers deep. That's 120 off the board for 12 teams. So
Yeah.
everyone's going to take different strategies, so you still get them in the mix and the big roster. You're starting a pretty big roster, so you are going to get pretty deep in there.
Yeah.
But I just think tight end premium in this kind of evens out that playing field a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. We have to get it going and see what happens.
Yeah. So I guess without further ado,
Mock, yeah, draft, yeah, ing, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Further ado.
without further ado, and so just as a little preface, Mike and I are both going to be drafting from the 6th spot. This is where Ryan Jones is.
Who?
Ryan Jones.
Who?
This is where he's drafting from. So we're both going to be kind of just spearheading this draft pick, and we'll go from there. So I guess we'll just kick it off and see where this goes. Now, of course, we are drafting against computers. So just so everybody knows, we understand how unrealistic this draft board is going to look based on your home leagues. What the important thing that we're going to be talking about is the pocket of players that are available and who we like over the others to kind of point you in the right direction.
Herbie.
So, we know what it's like, and so just preface that. Mike, I heard you say Herbie. You want to go Herbie here?
Herbie.
Yeah, I think based on our system with how we do these Superflex, you want to leave the first round with an elite quarterback. And to us, that goes all the way down to about Trevor Lawrence. After Trevor Lawrence, we don't really consider that elite. So we're going to grab Justin Herbert here in the 6th spot. But if you can grab any one of those top 7 quarterbacks, we think you're in a good spot starting the draft. And just to preface the people that are listening on the pod, what are you doing? Check us out on YouTube. However, if you can't watch us on YouTube, we have Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson right before us, and we took Justin Herbert. After that was Justin Jefferson, Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelce, Austin Eckler, Cooper Kupp, Bijan Robinson to start the 2nd, followed by Justin Fields, Tyreek Hill, Trevor Lawrence, Saquon Barkley, and A.J. Brown. So, Mike, what are you seeing here at this pick?
Elite wide receiver, Diggs or CD. I lean Diggs over CD, but I think those are your 2 surefire options. You have the ability to start 7 wide receivers, as we said. So hammering wide receiver early is the way to go.
Yeah. And not to say that Nick Chubb isn't valuable or Devonta Adams or Derrick Henry, but absolutely what Mike said. You have the ability to start so many wide receivers, load up on the elite ones. Diggs is our top 5, and CeeDee Lamb is very, very close to that. So, Mike, you want to go Diggs over CD?
Yep.
Okay. So we're starting Justin Herbert and Stephon Diggs. I feel really good about the start. After Diggs goes Devonta Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Garrett Wilson, Dak Prescott. We are back on the clock. Mike, what are you looking at?
Amon-Ra, no-brainer.
Okay, we're doing Amon-Ra over Jalen Waddle, over Chris Olave, over T. Higgins, over Devonta Smith, and I agree with you. So I think Amon-Ra is definitely the way to go here.
It's the final of that tier break.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do love Waddle, and I think he's I think Amon-Ra is a step above Waddle, and then I think Waddle's a step above Olave, Higgins, Devonta.
So yeah, Waddle's almost in a tier of his own, right?
Well, yeah, him and Amon-Ra I could kind of put them in the same tier, but Amon-Ra's easily the number 1 receiver on his team. He's going to be a target hog, and Waddle, great offense, but wide receiver too.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown and see what falls to us in the next round. Follow us. Amon-Ra goes Tua, Jalen Waddle, Najee Harris, Chris Olave, Kirk Cousins, Jameer Gibbs, Ramondre Stevenson, DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Tony Pollard, Keenan Allen, and Devonta Smith. We are on the clock here. Mike, talk to me. What are you looking at?
I see ETN there. I want to see those wide receivers. If you can click on those.
Yeah.
Ridley, Cooper, Tebow. So I think it's probably going to still be Ridley, Cooper for me. However, I'm interested in the when people in this league, in Ryan Jones, who in his league starts going two quarterbacks, because I do think it's important to get a legit quarterback in that super flex spot. So I would probably lean Ridley and Cooper here still, but Rodgers, he's at the top of that board. That starts to get pretty interesting for me. So Ryan Jones, I think it's important that you get a pretty solid quarterback too. So definitely this is one of those situations where you have to look at the draft board and look at how early people are going QB2 and, basically to make a decision. I want a very good quarterback too. And to me, if you can pull up the quarterbacks again, Ryan.
Yeah, I was looking at real quick. There are 3 teams in the specific mock that don't have a quarterback. That is not going to be how this draft plays out. You got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. They went tight end, 3 wide receivers. So to be real, there's probably 3 quarterbacks gone, right?
Maybe. There's also 3 teams with 2 quarterbacks. So it really just depends when people start going 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, I feel like on average it's like in the first 5 rounds. Would you say?
Yeah, but it's so hard to say. I saw one of the guys on Twitter, on one of the popular analysts on Twitter, came out and said it's a what are those rules called? It's a whatever. It's like what are those rules like in baseball? It's
an unwritten rule.
Yeah, an unwritten rule. So there's a guy on fantasy, a popular fantasy analyst on Twitter, who came out and said there's an unwritten rule in his home league that you just don't go quarterbacks early. So that kind of stuff we can't really add into our mock, obviously, but who knows? It could be one of those situations where that's hard for us to project. So that's why I wanted you to just bring up the quarterback board, and I'll tell you where I want a quarterback too. So Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones would be a pretty elite tier. Scroll down for me. So I mean, I would love that at the end of Daniel Jones, if I can get 2 of those quarterbacks, I'm very happy. If I have to go any lower than that, scroll up for me. I think Stafford is someone that I would target, but I'm not really trying to go any lower than Stafford as my QB2.
Yeah.
Just because of consistency concerns. Maybe Kenny Pickett I would have in there because I think he's going to have an awesome year. But yeah, I mean, Jordan Love, I like him a lot too, but even him I'm not super confident in.
What about Jared Goff?
No, I don't like Goff at all.
Okay.
I understand you have Amon-Ra. I just don't think he's very good. So I'm fading Goff this year, but yeah, for me it's Stafford, and then I could be talked into Pickett if there's if you wanted to go Cooper, Ridley, then I understand. You can start 6 wide receivers, and that's without even having with designating your super flex as quarterback. So I know, did he say if it was PPR or not?
It is, yeah, PPR.
Yeah, so I'm hammering wide receivers. Literally I would be comfortable having 5 out of my first 6 picks be wide receiver.
Okay. All right. Well, then, are you firmly Ridley over Cooper or Cooper over Ridley? Because I like both of them.
I like both of them too, and I think I'm kind of starting to lean Ridley a little bit.
Me too.
Just because I like that offense better. So I'd be cool with Ridley here. Again, it's all about tiers for me. If Ridley and Cooper are not there and I'm in that Debo, Hopkins, Scary Terry range, then I'm probably going – I'm looking at, running back Travis Etienne. I put him on the board in consideration, and then I'm probably, going Rodgers if I think that he won't make it back to me.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take Calvin Ridley. I think we both are coming around on him.
At the end of the day, it's all about hammering out wide receivers early. Get as many as you can in that, top few tiers. And then when they start to have a little bit more risk tied to them, then look elsewhere.
Yeah. So we ended up taking Ridley there in our 4th pick, followed by ETN, Breece Hall, Aaron Jones, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Kenneth Walker, Debo Samuel, TJ Hawkinson, Daniel Jones, Terry McLaurin, and we are back on the clock.
So I think this is the perfect situation of now you miss out. There goes a run on running backs, and then so there goes a tier for you on running backs, and that quarterback tier is gone. So that was the risk that you were willing to take going 3 elite wide receivers deep. Is you may miss out on a pretty solid tier of running back and a solid tier of quarterbacks. So that just happened, but that doesn't change the strategy. Amari Cooper is who I was deciding between. I'm going back to the well, and I'm adding, number 4 badass wide receiver and seeing how the team, shakes out. I think we're both in agreement there, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
if strategy does not change.
Yeah, no, if you're deciding between 2 players at one spot and then that other player that you're deciding between falls to you in the next round, that's just like a gimme. You know what I mean?
For us, it's the strategy doesn't change. Just because, you see a lot of blue there doesn't change that you can start 6 wide receivers and we're still picking up elite wide receivers in the 5th round. So,
yeah. After Amari Cooper, we took then George Kittle, Geno Smith, Damian Pierce, Jared Goff, Jerry Jeudy, Drake London, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Hopkins, Miles Sanders, Darren Waller, Kyle Pitts, and Russell Wilson. So we are back on the clock. Top of the board here is DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins, Dallas Goedert, Christian Watson, DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers. Mike, who are you looking at? What do you want to do here?
So here for me, it is. It's and this is kind of just knowing the draft board, and the league again. I think this is a safe area to pick up a running back 1.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's Dobbins or Akers for you, for me, it's Dobbins. I think you're still on the Dobbins over Akers train, right, or no?
I am. Yeah, I'd still take Dobbins over Akers.
So I like DJ Moore, and that's extremely tempting, especially because you can start 6 wide receivers. That being said, I think he's the by far number 1 receiver on his team. That being said, I think you can get Dobbins, and then there's a guy in this next round who's going to fall based on draft board, which is Brandon Ayuk, who, I have ahead of DJ Moore. So with the ability to get that first running back and then swing around and get another same tier wide receiver as DJ Moore, I'm totally happy with that. And I think Dobbins has, running back top 10 potential. So this is working out perfectly right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
There goes DJ Moore. There goes Swift, Akers, a guy we really like, Watson, and now you start to see some guys go off the board who are not huge on. Ayuk does going, so draft's not going to always work out for you, but that was a risk that I think it was well calculated, and got to move on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Godwin right before us. So here we are in the 7th round. We have Justin Herbert as our quarterback. We have J.K. Dobbins as our RB1. And then we have just Stephon Diggs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Calvin Ridley, and Amari Cooper. Just stacked. The best wide receiver room in the draft by far.
Which is the most important position in this league by far.
Correct. So,
so click on quarterback for me real quick.
Sure.
I want to just make note of. Wow, I didn't even know you can boost it like that. So quarterbacks that we're looking at: Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford. Want to highlight him? I like Kenny Pickett. I don't know. Do you like him? Are you warming up on the Pickett train?
I'm coming around. Obviously, last year was lackluster. It wasn't impressive. But from what we've seen so far this preseason, from what we've heard from the camp, Kenny Pickett seems to be like he is really excelling and getting better, and the team's getting better. So I'm coming around on Pickett, as earlier this offseason I was completely out on him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fuck the camp. Fuck what we're hearing. Look what you saw in preseason. I mean, he just looks like a NFL quarterback that is composed and has an awesome arm. So
yeah, making exciting. Big throws.
Yeah. So Love, Stafford, Pickett. That looks like an 88 to me. 88, 93, and like 100 is what I'm reading.
Yes.
So that is who we're looking at as our quarterback 2 here. Don't think we need to go quarterback quite yet. So I think we have another round or two, potentially, probably just 1 round. So if you can see what we have at wide receiver, see what I have at running back.
Yeah, there's still one other team here at the very end of the draft here with no quarterback. So,
yeah.
But I think you're right. I think we can wait another round. Who are you looking for? You want to see running backs or wide receivers?
So I see Alvin Kamara.
Rashad
White, Kamara, Rashad White, James Cook. Okay. How about wide receiver there? Christian Kirk, Mike Williams. So I think I kind of like those running backs a little bit better. I mean,
I do too.
Kirk's interesting. I like Rashad White. I do like Kamara and Javonte. Slow starts, but huge seasons. But I probably think Rashad White looks good there to me. What do you think about that?
I was literally going to say that. For me, it's Rashad White or James Cook, and Rashad White, I think, gets the bump up. It's his entire backfield there. So I'm good with Rashad White as our RB2.
Yes, sir.
All right. So after starting with the quarterback and 4 wide receivers, we take our first 2 running backs in round 6 and 7 with Dobbins and White. Followed by White goes Kirk, Bryce Young, Pittman, Kamara, Hollywood Brown, Pacheco, Derek Carr, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Mike Williams, Javonte Williams, and Deontay Johnson.
Yep. So I want to point out, if you can click down still.
Oh, yeah.
So what I want to point out is that gamble that we took there by going, we didn't go quarterback because there was a guy that he had 0 quarterbacks at the time. There's 2 teams there that have a single quarterback. So we took a risk because there were 3 quarterbacks that we liked there. Well, sure enough, none of them were taken. There was 2 quarterbacks that happened to be Bryce Young and Derek Carr. And now we're sitting in a situation where we can go and wait another round guaranteed because every single team in front of us has 2 quarterbacks. So that is the kind of thing that you need to be looking at while you're drafting. So, we just saved ourselves 2 rounds playing the draft board that way, just taking a calculated risk and it working out for us.
Yeah. So on the board here in this pool, we have Evan Ingram, Jordan Love, Mike Evans, Stafford, Freiermuth, George Pickens, David Montgomery. Huh?
So look no further.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement here. Our pick is George Pickens. Should have a massive year, kind of a quote-unquote breakout from his season last year. So we're going to take George Pickens as our wide receiver 5.
Yeah, that's an outstanding draft and wide receiver room.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Evan Ingram's went after, and then Mike Evans, James Cook, David Montgomery, Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, Njoku, Traylon Burks, Kadarius Toney, and Fryer Muse. So we are on the clock here again. I do think we take our quarterback here, Mike.
Yeah. Honestly, whichever one you want. I'd probably lean Stafford.
I am leaning
I like-
Stafford as well.
I like them all.
Yeah. We're going to take Stafford. All right. So after Stafford goes A.J. Dillon, Jahan Dotson, Kenny Pickett, Jordan Love, Antonio Gibson, Kyler Murray. So we were great. We were right taking a quarterback there. There was a little run on quarterbacks here at the end of the 9th. And then to start the 10th, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brandon Cooks, Charbonnet, Gabe Davis, Michael Thomas, and Khalil Herbert, who I would have loved as our running back 3, but we're going to take a look and see what pocket of players are available here. CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy. We're not really considering another quarterback here. Other than that, it's Dalton Schultz, Zay Flowers, Brian Robinson, Rashad Penny, Elijah Moore, Jamal Williams, P. Ryan, Mike. Any names pop out to you?
I like Zay. I like Elijah. I like P. Ryan. I know you don't like him. Click on the running backs for me. Yeah, I'm Zay or Elijah or P. Ryan here. So I don't know what you think, but that would be my top 3.
Yeah, I am noticing though this running back well is getting pretty dry, and we do only have 2 running backs. I mean, yeah, the right pick here is Zay or Elijah, and I think for me it's Zay over Elijah. Are you still Zay over Elijah, Mike?
Yep, that's cool.
All right, let's go Zay and see what running backs are still there at the end, at our next pick in the 11th. All right, so after Zay Flowers goes Brian Robinson, Devon Achane, Rashad Penny, Elijah Moore, Okonkwo, P. Ryan, Sutton, Schultz, Laporta, and Jamal Williams is who I was hoping would fall to us in the 11th. That is not the case. All right, so for running backs, this is who we got, Mike. McKinnon, Harris, Elijah Mitchell, Tyler Algier, Tank Bigsby, Zeke, Kendre Miller, Jalen Warren.
Yeah, I think this is where you just start throwing darts and basically saying what roles do you like the best. So for me, I think that I like Jerick McKinnon's role if it remains the same. I like
agree.
Elijah Mitchell. I like Tank Bigsby. Jalen Warren's got a good role. So, I'm not discouraged having amazing wide receivers, 2 really good starters, and then a stable of backups. So that's just where I'm at.
Okay. Just for shits and gigs, looking at the wide receiver room, you got Jamison Williams, Odell Beckham, Rashad Bateman, Lazard, Sky Moore, Adam Thielen, Jacoby. So
that's exactly why we hammered wide receivers early, is because I'm not interested in pretty much any of those names besides Sky Moore.
Yeah, I agree. And
Nico
I feel like
Collins is coming up there. I like him, but
now I feel like for running backs here, I feel like Jerick McKinnon with his 9 receiving touchdowns last year, if that even is close to being the same, I feel like he's the right pick here.
Shoot.
All right, Jerick McKinnon it is as our running back 3 in the 11th round. After McKinnon goes Dalton Kincaid, Rashad Bateman, Cole Kmet, Odell Beckham, Greg Dulcich, Elijah Mitchell, Jamison Williams, Tyler Higbee, Lazard, Harris, Sky Moore, Jacoby Myers.
Can you go to our roster?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So currently have Josh Herbert, Joshua Herbert at quarterback, J.K. Dobbins, Rashad White, Diggs, Amon-Ra, Ridley as our starting wide receivers, Cooper, Pickens, Zay Flowers. You can go right down the line there as our starting wide receivers and flex positions, and then Stafford with our first, what is that? Scroll down, I can't. With our first bench spot being Jerick McKinnon. How many bench spots are there?
8.
Okay. Go back up to the wide receivers for me. So as you can see there, the only two that share a bye are Pickens and wait, I can't really see. No, Amon-Ra and Ridley.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra and Ridley are the only two that share a bye, so that's a very good situation to be in. So here you can really go anywhere. Running back, wide receiver, we're still going best available. That's just, this league, you should pretty much go best available all draft. Tank Bigsby is someone who I think has a really good role. So as with the ability to still add depth to a running back room here, I think that's probably pretty important. So I would say Tank's probably the right pick.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there. It'd be between Tank or Jalen Warren, but I think Tank has a bigger role to start the season.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. So we have Tank Bigsby in the 12th, and then Algier, Thielen, Rashee Rice, Tyler Boyd, Zeke, Darnell Mooney, Jalen Warren, Romeo Dobbs, Kendre Miller, and Raheem Mostert. So here we are in the 13th.
I would have liked to see Dobbs fall to us there. Go to wide receiver. Nico Collins, no brainer.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Nico Collins fill in some wide receiver depth for us.
There's no one on that list who's even close to him.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
He's one of the guys in these sleeper rankings that are just still way too far down there.
Yes.
Surefire wide receiver 1, as you saw all preseason for the Texans. He's just stood out in the entire room. So,
yeah,
there's a little bit of speculation early on just because Stroud hasn't played with any of these guys, but it was wildly clear who the alpha in that wide receiver room is. So he's a great late round addition to the wide receiver room.
And then after Collins goes Deontay Foreman, Gerald Everett, Rondell Moore, Devin Singletary, Roshan Johnson, Michael Mayer, Jonathan Mingo, Jeff Wilson, Dawson Knox, DJ Chark, Kenneth Gainwell, and
DJ Chark.
Okay. All right.
Mexico City really is a beautiful city. You get the mountains in the background, and it's just city for days. It's unreal. Sorry.
No, that's a great caveat. It's I can't wait to check it out myself. All right, so here we are back on the clock. We have 4 running backs. We have 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers.
No, we got to have more than that.
Oh yeah,
we have 7.
No, we have 1, 2, 3.
You can't count.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, that is correct. I cannot count. We have 7 wide receivers and 4 running backs. All right, so here we are on the clock. A bunch of quarterbacks here at the top. Other than them, it's Zay Jones, Jalen Hyatt, Juwan Johnson, KJ Osborne, Chase Brown, Marvin Mims.
Yep.
Is that who you want to go with here?
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even think he'll still be on the board here. Although that Judy news hurts his value a little bit that he didn't get placed on the pup. So that is encouraging for the Broncos. I think Mims still has time to kind of show what his skill set is in the first couple games, but and really that's what it comes down to for someone, a rookie. But yeah, Peyton traded up to get him. He's had glowing reviews all camp, and I just think Mims is going to have a great start to the season, which is going to shoot up his value pretty quickly.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, so we're back on the clock here. After Mims goes Zay Jones, Chase Brown, Jalen Hyatt, Juwan Johnson, Gallup, Osborne, DPJ, Pierce, Hubbard, and Douche Vaughn.
Deuce, drop a deuce. So I think you need three quarterbacks in this league. So I don't want to miss out on Howell. In a real league, he's probably worth taking here. And yeah, I mean, like, are these computers going to go three wide receiver? I don't know, or three quarterback, but
They could.
I think in your league, it's worth going Howell, because I think he's probably has the high. He does. I mean, Ritter's upside is pretty ridiculous, but I think Howell has the more realistic chance to reach his upside. He's looked great, and he's got the enemy there, who obviously we've seen what he did with Mahomes and how he gets so creative on offense. I don't know. I think Howell is a great high upside quarterback 3 to have in a super flex league. I would not want to miss out on him. Otherwise, I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think that's the right pick. I don't want Stroud. I don't want Purdy, Garoppolo, Mac Jones, Ritter, Baker, Tannehill. So, yeah, we're gonna grab our QB3 here in the 15th.
Yeah, I think that's the right move. Jerome Ford would have been nice, but and that's probably the right pick, seeing as how the quarterbacks are drafting.
Yeah,
go Jerome Ford and then go Howell here, but I can't imagine with how valuable quarterbacks are in the Superflex league that you're going to have that luxury. So,
yeah.
Anyways, and the last 3 picks here.
Yes, we have 3 picks left.
Just add whatever value you can, whatever depth you can. Doesn't look like there's much still there at running back. Maybe it is like a Ty Chandler lower. I honestly don't even know.
No, I don't believe so.
So you're pretty much
Ty
done
Chandler
at running
just went
back.
in the 16th.
Oh, there you go. I see him. So you're pretty much done at running back. And then Zach Moss. I mean, that's probably worth a dart throw here. He's likely going to be the running back 1 for the Colts. The team's going to suck so bad.
Yeah.
He's definitely has the best potential role still available. If I had to guess, based on how bad Jackson or Johnson, I don't even know his name, Deion Jackson.
Yeah.
Deion Jackson was when he had an opportunity, I would probably be most confident in Zach Moss out of that horrible running back room.
Yeah.
So he would probably be the right pick here. I don't know what quarterbacks or what wide receivers are still around.
Mechie, Reed, Jefferson, Tank Dell, Justin Ross.
Love Jaden Reed. So, yeah, I don't know. For me, it would be between Zach Moss and Jaden Reed, and it looks like you can go Jaden Reed here and Moss on the next turn. But yeah, I don't know. That's the only running back I saw with any value. I don't know if you saw another one. Keontae Ingram, backup for the Cardinals, maybe. But
yeah.
There's nothing else there. Dwayne McBride's not even on a team.
Yeah, no.
Malik Davis not even on a team.
So yeah, for me, Zach Moss, maybe grab him in the 17th here. Let's grab Jaden Reed, fill out some more wide receiver depth. We both like him a lot.
Yeah, for sure. See, there goes the quarterback run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just went a round early. After Jaden Reed, John Mechie, Abanaconda, Jefferson, Tank Dell, Dwayne McBride, then Stroud, Purdy, Garoppolo, Jones, and Ritter. So exactly what we talked about. We're just going to grab a high upside running back that could be the starter for Indianapolis, even though the team is trash. Yeah. Getting him in the 17th round is, it's basically free, so might as well.
Yeah, the Colts are going to be awesome. It's going to be so fun to watch.
All right, so rounding out the 17th round, then Mayfield, Tannehill, Lance, Hurst, Hill, Gesicki, Curtis Samuel, Luke Musgrave, MVS, Justin Ross, Jake Ferguson, and Zach Ertz. And for our last and final pick,
It's all you.
Paris Campbell is interesting. Isaiah Hodgins is probably who I would go here. I do like Mecole Hardman. Oh man, I think I go Isaiah Hodgins. I don't know, Mike.
Yep.
Are you Hodgins over Hardman and Campbell?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. So let's round it out. This is the final roster. I think we did really
Ryan
well
Jones, who?
here. Yeah. So notice we didn't take a tight end. In this format,
Why
you don't
wouldn't
have to. We have Zay Flowers as in basically our tight end spot, and I feel more comfortable with Zay Flowers rather than that mid to late tier tight end. So,
Yeah.
I'm very happy with that. But anyway, run down the team real quick. Justin Herbert is our QB1. Our super flex is Stafford. And then our quarterback 3 is Howell that we got in the 15th. Probably won't be there, but definitely Howell is a tier break for us on the QB3s. Running back room, J.K. Dobbins and Rashad White. That's a great 1-2 combo. And as long as they stay healthy, this team's going to be really good. But to back them up, Jerick McKinnon, who scored 9 receiving touchdowns last year, is in the best offense in football. High upside. And then Tank Bigsby, one of the best running back names in football, and he is a pretty big share of the backfield. So we'll see how that works out. And then as our last running back, Zach Moss, dart throw maybe. Wide receivers: Stephon Diggs, Amon-Ra, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Zay Flowers. My God,
Filth.
yeah,
it's exactly how my team would look in this league.
yes. And then
Focus on wide receiver depth.
yeah,
Make sure you have 3 good quarterbacks. Don't draft a tight end, and get just enough at running back to make you feel confident with the starting lineup, and then just fucking dominate.
And then we filled in some depth with Nico Collins, Marvin Mims, Jaden Reed, and Isaiah Hodgins. So I'm very happy with this team. Ryan Jones, I hope you enjoyed our analysis of your league, and I hope we gave you some insight for you to dominate your draft. And for anyone else out there that still has a draft coming up and you want us to do a mock, get our opinions on where these players line up, please let us know, and we will do that for you. Aside from that,
yeah, I hope this encourages the roadies to reach out on their drafts coming up, and we can hammer out some mocks for them, because this is really fun. I imagine that Ryan Jones is going to be pretty happy with this video. I think we went into pretty good depth based on strategy and kind of what you would do there. So yeah, I think I really enjoyed this. Ryan Jones, thank you again very much, and you have now shot up the power rankings of roadies for me. So
yeah,
awesome.
All right, everybody, buckle up.
Buckle the fuck up.